Every family office in the world will quote you this number. 70% gone by the second generation. 90% gone by the third. It sounds like a law of nature. It isn't. Americans call it shirt sleeves to shirt sleeves. The Chinese have their own version. The first generation builds it, the second lives off it, the third starts over.
4 continents, same fear, invented long before anyone had a spreadsheet to prove it. So where did the number actually come from? For decades, everyone traced it back to one consultancy, a study that supposedly tracked thousands of wealthy families and found the same collapse every time.
Here's what almost nobody checked. When researchers went looking for the actual study, they found a survey about whether heirs felt in control of decisions made about their own money. A psychology paper wearing a finance statistics clothes for 40 years.
So the number is fake. The fear behind it isn't. Because the families who really do lose everything, they don't lose it to yachts. They lose it to silence.
Not because nobody spoke, because nobody explained. Picture a grandson who inherits a $400 million portfolio. He knows every account number, every holding, every advisor's name. He has never once sat in the room where a real decision about that money got made. He inherited the fortune, not the thinking that built it. This isn't hypothetical. In 1973, the descendants of Cornelius Vanderbilt, once the richest man in the world, held their first family reunion. 120 of them showed up. Not one was a millionaire. The fortune hadn't run out. It had simply never been explained to the people who inherited it.
Which raises a question that has nothing to do with being rich. What do children of wealth actually inherit? The money? Or the ability to use it?
Here's the part that surprises almost everyone. The families that keep their wealth the longest don't give their kids more access to money. They give them less. Give someone the money before they understand it, and they learn to spend it. Give them the responsibility first, and they learn to protect it.
And in these families, a child hears the family name mentioned 10 times before they ever hear the size of the family fortune.
This is why so much of what looks like old money tradition was never sentimental. It was structural. Take the family constitution, a document most people have never heard of. Some run over 100 pages, others fit on 5.
Almost none of them are written by lawyers alone. The family writes down the values, what the money is for, what it isn't for. What happens if a grandchild wants no part of the business? The lawyers just formalize the language afterward. And in many old money families, children begin sitting in real investment meetings while they're still teenagers. Not to contribute, just to watch, to absorb, years before it's ever their decision to make.
By the time judgment is actually required of them, it isn't new, it's rehearsed. Silence doesn't just destroy portfolios, it destroys companies too.
A manufacturing company. 3 siblings, all working inside the business their father built. He's 78. Nobody has asked him, out loud, who takes over. Not because they don't care, because asking feels like rushing him toward the door.
He dies without a plan. One sibling wants to sell. One wants to run it. One just wants to be paid out. Within 2 years, the company that took 40 years to build is gone. Not because the market turned, because 3 people couldn't agree in a boardroom that used to be a kitchen table.
About a third of family businesses make it to the second generation. 1 in 8 make it to the third. It's rarely laziness. It's the same conversation, postponed again. The one where someone admits the founder won't be in the room forever. Money can survive a recession. It can survive inflation. It can survive a bad decade. of investments.
What it rarely survives is a generation that never learned why it existed in the first place.
The first generation builds the fortune. The second inherits the assets. The third inherits the consequences.
Because the most expensive inheritance was never the money. It was the conversation that never happened.